Hey friends, it's been about 2 weeks since I completed my Reiki 2 training in Usui Holy Fire Reiki in Monroe, Louisiana with my dear friend and spiritual sister Caroline Youngblood. I will link to her website in the description. And y'all, it has been a powerful ride. It really has. And my intention with this video is to talk about my experience with Reiki 2 and kind of the aftermath. I might split this into several videos. I don't know. All I know is that I need to start talking about this because I feel a very strong fire energy within my being. And what's funny is that I felt this fire energy within my being even in the months prior to doing my Reiki training. And I wasn't really sure what that was about or how that would manifest, but all I knew was I was very connected to Pitta, the Ayurvedic fire energy, and now it seems to be manifesting as the Holy Fire Reiki energy. So I believe I was really destined to do the training, and I am so happy I did. I had a lovely healing experience in Monroe, and that is my hometown actually, Monroe, Louisiana. And I have carried with me a lot of trauma and, bad experiences, lots of karma, living there, lots of really great experiences too. But I felt it was very important for me to take the opportunity to go back and actually do my Reiki training in a city, my hometown, where there was this kind of karmic, loaded, very charged energy around that particular location. So I feel like the healing is just kind of on even another level for that reason. So it was very healing and beneficial for me to go back to my hometown as a visitor and have such a powerful, transformative life experience there. Have such a positive experience. I mean, it was positive across the board. The place I stayed was wonderful. The interactions I had with the people there were wonderful. I took some great yoga and Pilates classes, and then I had this wonderful Reiki training. And it was a small, intimate group. We learned, more of the left brain, things that we needed to know about Reiki and logistics and practicalities, and had lots of wonderful right-brained experiences with guided meditation sessions and actually practicing giving treatments with other students, and even sending distance Reiki, which is so cool. You can send Reiki healing energy across space and time to yourself and to others. So going back and sending Reiki to yourself or someone else in the past, healing past life events with Reiki, and also going forward into the future. If you know something big is going to happen, you have an interview, you have maybe a family gathering or something like that, you can send Reiki forward through time to yourself and to the other people, so that that interaction or situation will play out in a positive way. And so the way like phone sessions would work with people or Skype sessions is that you or I, as a practitioner, will send Reiki to you even though we're not in person face to face. And it's still very powerful. There are techniques for doing that so that, you're on the other end of the phone line, say, and you can receive the energy. I can connect to you and give a treatment to you across space and time. And that's really wonderful too. So we got to practice that. And I sent it to another person who, I told her I was going to send it to her, but I didn't tell her immediately before, so she wasn't laying down or anything. But then when I talked to her later, it was very, very palpable, visible, tangible, observable, perceptible that she had received the energy and was feeling better, and there was a certain lightness about her, and our interaction was awesome. So it works. I'm really looking forward to doing more of that. So yes, the energy itself is so strong and yet so gentle. So during Reiki 2, we receive the energy through kind of a transmission, through a guided meditation facilitated by the teacher, and then the energy comes in. It just comes in. There's no it's given to you by this teacher, or the teacher has to be a channel for it. It is directly placed within the students, which is really cool because you're not relying upon another person. It's like you are directly plugging in, you're directly connecting to the energy in its purest, most highest, most sacred, potent form. So what that experience was like for me was one of total, deep, blissful relaxation. I mean, complete relaxation and melting into the earth, melting into the floor. I was laying down on the ground with my eyes closed and just this total surrendering. And then what was happening next, I described it like having a float tank session, if you've ever had one of those before. And you're in this enclosed space. You have no sight, smell, sound, it's basically sensory deprivation after the music goes off in the float tank, and you're just there and you're floating. And it's like being in the mother's womb, or it's like being in this formless space, which is what I believe we are before we incarnate into human bodies. Before we come in to form, we are formless. So my experience of receiving the energy was much like that, where there was this person, Taylor, who was doing a guided meditation and being receptive. And then that Taylor, that ego, my personality, dissolved and merged into complete oneness, into complete purity, into complete light, peace, love, space, and yet, this quality of the infinite field of possibility. So it was quite remarkable. To describe it again, I would say it was also reminding me of what I learned about while I was at Gampo Abbey, living as a Buddhist nun in Nova Scotia at this monastery. And we did a 45-day winter retreat with Ani Pema Chodron, who's a remarkable Buddhist nun and teacher. You may have heard of her. If not, look her up. I'll link her in the description. And we were learning about death and the bardos and after death experiences, the transition from, being in this body dying and then what happens after death. And what we were learning is that in the dying process, you have this opportunity after death for enlightenment. Like, it's like the opportunity we've been waiting for, right? Like, death is actually very, very good. You want to prepare for it and practice for it so that when the moment comes, you can get that enlightenment, friends. I mean, it's very, very exciting. So after death, everything dissolves away, your physicality, all these things that are tying you to the material world, right? The solid world, these senses, these perceptions, these thoughts and feelings. And so we have this opportunity to merge into oneness, to merge into light, to merge into unity consciousness, and to connect to our true, luminous, radiant, ultimately empty and yet full, which is a, really cool oxymoron to not wrap your brain around, but to feel within your heart, to merge into this enlightened energy that is the source of all creation, to universal life force energy. So that was also what I was kind of experiencing, was like, wow, this is, when I was writing in my journal after, I was like, that was that, like experiencing Reiki energy, opening to the Reiki energy during the energetic placement, which is when you receive the energy, was akin to this after death experience where you have the opportunity for enlightenment. I'm not saying I'm enlightened now. What I'm saying is that I got a glimpse of that. I got a taste of that. And what it really did for me, which I'm very excited about, is that it showed me that this energy is pure. It's pure, it's untarnished, it is truly life force energy. It's not something that's being, mutilated, degraded, or downgraded by another person or, whatever. So it's really, really pure energy, which is what I've been looking for and wanting to work with in my own spiritual practice and in energy work with other people going forward. So I was so happy after having that experience and seeing this is the luminous, radiant, enlightened, loving, kind, pure energy that is the source of all and is within each of us. And that's what I want to connect with more and more. That's what I want to heal and guide me. That's what I want to share with others so that it can heal them of anything that is manifesting physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually in other people. So that is holy fire energy, friends. I think I will cut this video off here and maybe continue talking in another video so this one doesn't get too long. So if you have any questions or comments about Reiki 2 training, distance Reiki sessions, or the holy fire energy itself, as well as, if you've had any float tank experiences or, glimpses of enlightenment, glimpses of ego death, perhaps during meditation or during a plant medicine experience, then you kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. I would love to hear about your experiences and your impressions in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video if you like it, subscribe for more, and I'm sending you much love, healing energy. Namaste.